CJ Stroud and Tank Dell look like they've been playing ball together for a decade this past Sunday. Whenever Stroud threw for over 470 yards and 5 touchdowns. I mean, they look like Bonnie and Clyde, Donkey and Shrek, Woody and Buzz fucking Lightyear because Stroud is headed to the moon. I think that Stroud just about wrapped up the Offensive Rookie of the Year discussion. What do you guys think? Do y'all see a world where Stroud stays healthy and doesn't come away with Rookie of the Year? What do you guys think?
Nah, Stroud's got it in the bag. It's his award to lose, which I don't think he can lose at this point. Dude's been phenomenal. He's already a top 10 QB in the league. If you're in a dynasty league and you got him, you're lucky to have him. The Houston Texans are lucky to have him. Kid's a baller. He's going to be good for a long fucking time.
Yeah, the kid's impressive. I mean, like I've been saying, they have no they cannot run the ball, and he's just dicing up defense. He's dicing up all defenses. It's pretty impressive to see, like, from any quarterback whenever you can't run the ball at all, and they literally cannot run the ball at all, and not to mention the fact that he's a rookie. So, I mean, if he keeps getting better, I mean, the dude he's doing everything he can. He's the MVP of his team. Not like, I think it's crazy how there was also all this discussion about how, maybe he wasn't the brightest or the sharpest tool in the shed, and obviously none of that even matters. That test that they talked about before the draft was a joke because he seems to have no problem reading defenses or making quick decisions, in my opinion.
Yep, I think a direct quote, this came from him. He said, "I'm not a good test taker. I'm a good football player."
Yes,
and the
sir.
motherfuckers didn't believe that, but
Yeah,
I saw some people talking about pre-draft that it was probably the Houston Texans that planted some of that information to get the Carolina more in on Bryce Young, and they also planted information saying how Bryce Young is the Steph Curry of football and how he's this phenomenal player and any team would be lucky to have him. I think the Texans probably knew or had a vision of what the star they were going to be getting, and boy, did they hit a home run on that shit. Tell you that, man.
Kid's unbelievable. He really is.
So let's look at the AFC South. Right now they got a bunch of young guys. We got Anthony Richardson, we got Trevor Lawrence, we got CJ Stroud, and we got Will Levis. 2 years from now, which quarterback do you think is sitting on top of the division? I mean, obviously Trevor Lawrence has a little bit more experience under his belt than these other guys, but a lot of these guys have a lot of upside. What do y'all think? Personally, I would rank them. I think I would say CJ Stroud up top, Trevor Lawrence right under him. I'd probably go Anthony Richardson and Will Levis. I'm not sure if he's still going to have a job 5 years from now. We'll see. What do you guys think?
Are we just doing quarterbacks or like teams overall? Are you just going to rank quarterbacks?
Who do you think is going to run this division? What team in the AFC South is the division going to run through 3 years from now? Which one of these quarterbacks can will his team? Because I'm going to be honest, I don't think any of these rosters are particularly super talented. Maybe outside of the Jaguars, they've kind of been developing a little bit of talent. I think all of the rosters are pretty raw at this point. I think it's open for the taking.
But the Jaguars are an older roster. And while you could probably say the most young talent would have to go to the Colts or the Houston, just because of their young receivers. They got Pittman in Indy. They got Pittman and Downs, who are both looking like young studs. JT's a young back that's fucking phenomenal. The biggest question mark, though, is obviously Anthony Richardson. I mean, he only played one full healthy game this year, and he looked pretty good. And then he played, I think, 2 games after that, 2 partial games, and looked good as well. I think he has the most ceiling out of all of them just because of his physical traits. I would say he has the most talented team 2 years from now with Downs, Pittman, and Taylor. But, I mean, as far as quarterbacks go, I think 2 years from now, it'll be Stroud, T-Law, Richardson, and then Levis is I don't know. But I feel like AR could eventually, if he comes back and shows out, I think he could take over as a 1.
Yeah, if AR doesn't get hurt right at the beginning of this year, I feel like he is in a different spot for how I view him. Like, I do take injuries into consideration, but as far as like pure talent, I like Anthony Richardson just as much as any of these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, he came out this year and he looked great. So I'm excited to see, what Anthony Richardson can produce. Sap, what do you think about these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat as y'all. Like, I think Stroud's just. I think he's good. I think he's just different. Like, I think he's going to be. I think he's got the chance to be a real elite quarterback. Then I would have to say T. Law, obviously, and then same thing as y'all. I'm going to say Anthony Richardson and Levis. I do think that if the Titans decide to like seriously dedicate themselves and put Levis as like their future, which I know he just got named the starter for the rest of the season. But if they give him the type of dedication that they would as if they draft him in the first round, I think he's got enough. I think he's got enough like just raw talent and potential to pan out good. But to say that I can put him over Anthony Richardson right now would be a stretch. But I do think that he could be another. Like, I think he's got a bright future if he keeps working at it, and they continue to invest in him.
Yep. I agree there.